Part 2, guys! We're gonna do more Jojo rankings, because I'm breaking this video up. That's why I have the same clothes and the same makeup and the same setting and lighting. Woo! Alright. Next one we're going to do today is... Let's do... Today we're doing Jojo parts. So, let's see what we got here. We're gonna start with part 1, keep it organized. First part, I mean, when you first read part 1 of the manga, yes, we're basing off of the manga, because that's the truest form of Jojo in my opinion, as someone who reads the manga. Love the anime, but I see it as more of an extension, if that makes sense. Hey, whatever. You're anime only, no judge. If you're manga only, no judge. If you're both, no judge. Whatever. We all love Jojo, so big Jojo family. Yeah, so part 1. Phantom Blood. It's fun. It's great, you know, it's got that whole like English Victorian thriller-ish. I think Araki definitely sought out to put that into his story, and you know, you have the beginning of the story of Jojo, and it is his first like real outing with Jojo, so you know, there's gonna be some kinks and there's gonna be some good stuff, so it's really hard to judge this one because it is the first part. So you know, I'm gonna put it at B. It's okay, it's fun, it's great for a first part, but obviously there are gonna be more parts that are gonna be better because Araki's going to improve as an artist and a writer. And that brings us to Battle Tendency, Part 2. I have a weird relationship with Battle Tendency, because it's fun when you first read it because you're changing vibes from Part 1 being very like high society Victorian English to this fun, colorful, globe-trotting story with a very like quippy, fun and colorful protagonist, you know, Joseph Joestar. So, it's okay. I think I'm gonna put it with Phantom Blood because it's fun, it's great for what it is, but it's kind of just like Phantom Blood where it's just okay. It's fun and it's enjoyable, but you know, I end up like liking more parts. So, you know, it's solid. It definitely like improves as, you know, the manga keeps going, because Araki is improving. Wow, I'm saying improving so much, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. And I love Caesar as a character, and you get Lisa, who is one of the first major female JoJo characters that do fighting, if that makes sense. No offense to Arena Pendleton though, you know. Yeah, so we're gonna go on to the next part. Part 3, Stardust Crusaders. Stardust Crusaders is a classic. It is fun. It introduces the stands. But, you know, I didn't really, like, enjoy Part 3 till you get towards the end with the actual, like, Dio fight and Vanilla Ice. Like, when they get to Dio's mansion, that's when I really started enjoying Part 3. It has some, like, other like fun parts such as Hall Horse and all that stuff, but it's okay. You know, it introduces the stands. It's something fresh, new, different in the context of when it came out and when you're reading it. Obviously, if you're reading it now, you know Jojo has influenced so many stuff, including the stands have been such an influence. But yeah, I'm gonna put it in B. Wow, I'm putting so much stuff in B. It's okay for what it is. It's okay for what it is. Remember, these are my opinions, so. Next one we're going to is Part 4, Diamonds Unbreakable. Oh boy, I'm gonna put right in D. I'm sorry. A lot of people say that they personally think Part 4 is the best part. I don't understand why it's always said as if the JoJo fandom all agrees that Part 4 is universally the best part. I get it that Araki likes Part 4. He loves Shosuke, but personally, it's not my favorite part. It's my least favorite part. I just don't really like get the hype. It's not really a story that I really like was into. Josuke is a cool dude. Like, I like Josuke as a character. I just wish he had a better part, if that makes sense. He could have just been like, I don't know, just had a better part. Wasn't really an interesting story to me, but that's just me, and that's what my interests are. I'm just not into slice of lives that just don't really relate to me, I guess. Like, they have to be interesting, and that kind of slice of life that was going on just didn't really resonate with me. I don't know. I'm very picky with slice of life. It's got to be good in my eyes.
Okay, voiceover Danny here, because I am a horrible, horrible word vomiter, and I completely blanked when I was actually trying to explain my problems with Part 4. Not really my problems, but why I wasn't really into Part 4 and the whole Duang Gang life. Oh wow, my chair just creaked. Anyways, long sigh. Didn't really care for Kira as a villain. I don't know. Just wasn't really interesting. Like, serial killer with a hand fetish? Okay, I guess? I don't know. Like, just didn't really wow me. He just wasn't really the type of villain I was interested in. I wish I could describe it better. I just don't think he's all worth the hype, personally, in my opinion, but I can understand that you like him, and that's okay. It's just, he wasn't a villain I was interested in, and Part 4 really wasn't something for me, I guess. Like, I don't know, like, a lot of the characters, they had okay designs, and they just weren't really interesting to me that much. I mean, Rohan's okay, but like, a lot of the story arcs were kind of draggy, and were just kind of more headache inducing. I mean, a good example is the freaking Love Deluxe storyline with freaking Yukako. Like, oh my god, I had like the worst headache reading through that part. I hate yanderes. I am so sorry, but I personally hate yanderes. I don't get it. I do not get the appeal. I do not get why people love them so much. And geez, I could not like be in the position that Koichi was in. She was such a psycho chick, and I would not end up with her. Like, I was so mad that they ended up together. Anyways, but yeah, a lot of the story arc just kind of dragged and just didn't really have anything exciting for me. I also didn't like the rat, obviously. And just, Josuke was fine. He's a cool guy, but there's just a lot of stupidity in this part, and I get it, he's like 16, but like, I don't like a lot of like stupidity sometimes when it's not funny to me. Yeah, and also, Let's Go Eat Italian Food just gave me a freaking headache. I'm sorry. Like, I could not. And just, sorry. Anyways, yeah. Also, weird side note, and this is gonna be really weird, but oh my god, I hate Josuke's pants so much. I can't. But then again, I don't really like baggy 80s type pants, if that makes sense. But anyways, yeah, Josuke's pants, ugly. Wish he had tighter, skinnier jean type pants. Not even really skinny jeans, but just like more form-fitting cut pants than these things.
So yeah, I'm sorry. G tier. Alright, next one. Part 5, baby! Vento Aro Golden Wind. Time to assess my bias and put this thing right in S tier. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! It is not the worst part of my eyes, and it's totally so good! And I said that wrong, but still. Part 5? Listen, Part 5 has its flaws. It has its flaws. But Part 4 has its flaws too. So do not come at me. I will defend Part 5 to my grave. It was just like so good. I also like mafia movies and all that stuff, but it's like, oh, lush Italy, beautiful costumes, beautiful men. And just everybody just looks so great. I'm very interested in the story. I actually do like the villain better than Kira. I just find the whole keeping the identity thing very interesting, and saving him for the very end and seeing, oh my god, what does this intimidating mob boss look like? Oh my gosh, he looks like a male stripper with like watermelon hair, and he's gorgeous. I'm not using Husbandos as bias, just so you know. I really, really just enjoyed the story. I love the stands. I love how like OP everybody is. I know some people don't like OP stories like that. I love OP-ness. I love when people can just go hog wild on their powers. I'm a comic book fan, so, you know, fan of American comics. I love seeing powers, and sorry. When Giorno gets the arrow, he gets God tier. I was just like, yes, I don't I get it. You don't like it, but I absolutely love it. I love the whole, like, going through Italy, love the characters, love the designs. All of the characters are just so good, except for Cioccolata, Secco, Carne, and Formaggio, Malone. Anyways, yeah. I mean, yeah, there were some wasted potential with some of this stuff, but at the end of the day, I'll go back to part 5 more than I ever go back to part 4. I don't even think I read part 4 more than twice as a manga because it just didn't really interest me. Anyways, part 5, amazing. Oh, perfection.
Voiceover Danny here again. I word vomited that part too, so let me actually get a little bit more in depth as to why I love part 5 and think it's S tier, personally, in my opinion. Yeah, part 5's not perfect. I know a million people are gonna tell me it's not perfect, and I'm just, you know, biased. But anyways, I love the battles in part 5. The battles in part 5 were so interesting. They kept me on the edge of my seat. Well, except for, like, most of the babyface battle, but I'm not really interested in seeing, you know, a pervert do things. Other than that, a lot of the battles were just really interesting and much more engaging than the other parts so far. I didn't even care for, like, the villain battles in Stardust Crusaders either, except when we got closer, like, with Vanilla Ice and up. I don't know, because they were just more interesting villains. Like, I gotta find the battles and the villains interesting, and I liked the set of villains that they went up against in part 5 the best out of all so far. Yeah, I really enjoyed Giorno as a character. He's one of my favorite JoJos. I really liked, you know, how he is a morally gray character. I like that they were all morally gray characters, because let's face it, they're all mafia dudes. So, you know, it's gonna be a weird idea because of that, and I just find it interesting that it's just this very odd situation. And I do like the idea that, you know, Giorno has that I don't know, that gentleman-y type vibe like Jonathan, but then he is so much like Dio. Like, everyone likes to say, oh, he is so Jonathan's son. Dude, he has so many Dio qualities, but he's like, to me, he's like Dio, but better. Like, I like Dio, but I like Giorno better as a Dio type, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I enjoyed the camaraderie of this ensemble group that they had much better than a lot of them. I liked Bruno, I liked the dynamic between all of them, and I love how lush it was. I loved how interesting and dark the story was, while at the same time looking very Bishonen as a Bishonen fan. And yeah, and I loved the final battle with the arrow and the pretty aesthetics of, like, the whole golden wind thing. It was just very grand, but I kind of like those kind of stories, so I hope this kind of gave a bit more perspective. Let me put it this way. I was under the impression that part 5 and 7 were the best parts, because the people who got me into JoJo were very much the first representations I've had of the JoJo fandom, and they were, like, hardcore JoJo fans. Like, we're talking, like, could just quote JoJo out of, like, nowhere, and just has manga panels on their phone and all that stuff. Like, very, like, in-depth, hardcore, this is their main fandom, this is their thing. And they were very much big part 5 and 7 fans. Like, they really, like, made me under the impression when I was much younger, I guess, kind of much younger, that part 5 and 7 were the big parts that everybody loved. So I was around these kind of fans, so I was very surprised when I heard that part 4 was the most liked, because when I was reading through it, I didn't understand that, because I was just like, this is kind of meh, what's meh? And then I hear, like, oh, it's the best part. I'm like, what? I thought part 5 and 7 were the best parts. And I was like, no, and they were just like, well, no, part 5, I believe, is the worst part. And a lot of people were saying part 5 is the worst part, as if it was fact. But there were a lot of people that liked part 5. Listen, bad translations happen, but you should not judge a whole entire manga series based off of bad translations, because that's the worst thing you can do. And then guess what? What was funny is that I actually enjoyed it when I read the bad translation still. I mean, I can still get what's going on. I still enjoyed all of it. I don't understand why bad translations make or break it. I don't get this whole, like, well, you know, Giorno is this and that, and I'm like, so you need a protagonist that's just more in your face, I guess. I don't really care if Giorno's, like, more, like, refined and all this. It's an ensemble piece, and he's a really interesting JoJo when he has his moments. Why would you just want to just constantly, like, put it in your face like that? Because it makes it better when he actually has his moments. Anyways, that's weird. That's me rambling, but yeah. I was under the impression that those were the two biggest parts and the most popular parts. And I actually learned that Part 5 is extremely popular in Japan, as same as Part 3, whereas Part 4 is more popular in the West. I don't know if that's entirely true, but that's what people have said to me. Bottom line is that I did not know that Part 4 was that popular, because as I was reading it through, I was very confused, and then I heard that, I was just like, I'm not, you know what I mean? But anyways, yeah. I actually couldn't wait to get to Part 5, actually, because I saw so many of the characters, and my friends who got me into JoJo were telling me such cool things about the characters for Part 5, and 7 too, that I was just like, yeah, when I got to Part 5, and I just really enjoyed it. But maybe I was just kind of already set up to like Part 5, to be honest. So, but yeah, I don't like the excuse that, oh, I don't like Part 5 because the translations were bad back then. No, I just don't think that's a valid excuse at all. Because then you wouldn't like Part 4 then because of the Duang translations. I'm sorry, that's just... Oh god, I'm gonna get so many, like, hate comments if more than 5 people watch this. I know it. And people are just gonna tag me as that JoJo fan. Because I'm a word vomiter and I'm a rambler. And watch me not cut any of this out of the video. And alienate me throughout the whole entire JoJo fandom.
And then, let's get to Part 6. I'm gonna put Part 6, oh, you see, I'm not getting into spoilers, because I know some people are anime only, and, yeah, so, I really, really like Julian, I really, really like the characters, and I really, really like the storyline, except for, you know, the ending. But, like, the thing is, Araki kind of wrote Part 5 to be so OP, almost to a fault, so I can understand why Part 6 kind of felt like a weird ending, especially because he was trying to change magazines and trying to move on from, you know, certain things in JoJo that he just didn't have his heart in anymore. Which is unfortunate because Jolene's great. I love Jolene so much. And I wish, you know, she didn't have to deal with that kind of ending, but... S tier. I'm sorry. I get it, the ending sucks, but you know what? I kind of have my own theories too about the ending. I don't think the way people assess the ending really is entirely correct. I think people interpret it kind of weird, but you know, Araki did leave it up for interpretation, but I don't like the one universal saying about how the ending happened. I think it happened a little bit differently, and I don't think everything is completely thrown out. So yeah, Part 7, S tier. Part 7 is a masterpiece. Oh my god, I love Part 7 too. It's just, like, I don't really like Westerners that much, unless it's like old film Westerns, but like, this was just like, making Westerns, like, fun. Johnny and Gyro, such a team. One of my favorite Jojo and Jobro pairs. I love their designs. I love the storyline. It's just such an epic, long storyline, and you really are engaged from the beginning to the end on where it's gonna go. It's a new universe. It's in the JoJolian universe, and like, love the interesting story on how he interprets Jonathan Joestar as this alternative version of him. Shut up, computer. I know it's on here. And like, it's just an interesting look on how you interpret Jonathan Joestar as Johnny Joestar in Part 7. And yeah, it's just like a radical look. Because I know his art style completely changed. We're not talking about the same face. But yeah, I love the pair of Johnny and Gyro. Such an interesting take on the JoJo and Zeppeli Jobro dynamic, and I think it's the peak of it. It's so good. President Valentine, great villain. He is a villain, he is not a protagonist. Yeah, and I just find the story so out there, but so making sense at the same time. It was really good. I enjoyed every minute of Part 7. It's just epic and masterful. And I know most people will agree with me because a lot of people do say that Part 7 is, but I believe it's Araki's magnum opus at this point, but that's gonna be surpassed by Part 8 probably because it's still going. He's taking his good old time. I actually like Part 8 better than Part 4. I know that, like, Part 8 is a bit of a revisit of Part 4 because, you know, alternative universe, but I enjoy Part 8 way more than Part 4, and I think, here's the thing, it's not done yet, so I can't really, like, judge it. So, but everything I like about it so far is just, like, good. So I don't want to judge it till it's over, but I do really enjoy the characters, so I'm just gonna put it in A for now. Just because I can't put it in S tier because I don't know the ending yet, but it is playing like I'm probably gonna put it in S tier in the future once it finally ends and we get to Part 9. Please, Part 9, have a female protagonist. I beg of you, Araki. Let's just, ooh, even better, make Giorno the girl you thought she was gonna be. So yeah, that's my ranking for best JoJo parts. So now you know what I like in JoJo and what I don't like. I'm sorry, Part 4, and I love you, Part 8. So yeah, that's my official ranking of JoJo parts. This is just my opinion again, guys. I love JoJo dearly with all my heart. I've made so many friends in JoJo, and it's a property that I do keep close to my heart. It's one of my favorite mangas, and yeah, cool.